A série True Detective, da HBO, acaba de lançar sua 4ª temporada, agora com Jodie Foster no elenco. Meu nome é Kelly Miyashiro e neste programa eu falei com a atriz sobre a trama de suspense que, sem dúvidas, atingiu a sua melhor fase. Para quem não conhece, True Detective é uma série antológica, o que significa que cada temporada traz uma história independente. Já se passaram pelo elenco nomes como Matthew McConaughey e Rachel McAdams. Nessa nova fase, a série narra o caso do sumiço de 8 cientistas no meio do inverno do Alasca, quando o estado americano passa por 2 semanas sob escuridão total. Jodie Foster interpreta a xerife que terá de investigar o caso ao lado de uma patrulheira vivida pela ex-boxeadora Kaylee Reese. Eu conversei com as atrizes e com a diretora mexicana Issa López sobre a trama. Confira! This is the first season. We have female protagonists, female director, screenwriter, producer, everything. And I wanted to know first, how was that experience?
Well, it was necessary.
It's about time.
There. As we started making the show, I think we really realized how specific the female point of view is, and how it grounds the characters, and in terms of their past and what they've experienced and who they are as broken people, and how that manifests itself not just in the outside world but also in their relationship. Mm-hmm. So that was so rich and so complex, and then I think that there's just a sort of magic that happens when you address the female psyche in what used to be a male genre.
Jodie, you have a long career, so I wanted to know from you exactly what was the most attractive thing about becoming a star of True Detective?
Well, it all was a love fest. I mean, I think that's the thing. You always hope and pray that you'll have an experience like this, and for the most part you don't. You're always a little disappointed, but you just keep hoping that maybe it can happen again. Mm-hmm. And we had a script that was amazing. I mean, that first script that I read that made me want to jump aboard, and then meeting Issa, the next point of departure for me to be able to want to serve somebody that has such a clear vision of the film. Mm-hmm. That's when I know, I think maybe that's from my experience, the long experience that I have, is that I've learned to listen to my intuition about people and say, like, yes, that's the person.
And Kali, you, as a former boxer, there's anything about your previous career that you like to bring it up when you're acting?
There's so many parallels. Number one being it's an entertainment business in itself. You're on a stage, all lights on you, it's you and another person. It seems as though it's an individual thing, both boxing and acting, but it's such a team sport. I always compare the director and people behind the camera as they see what I don't see, just like my corner sees what I don't see. You have to be so present and be able to adjust, think on your feet, repetition, do things again, always improving. I love the aspect of always finding something new, always learning something new from somebody, and just having a number of different coaches as far as different eyes,
Assuming that you guys like true crime stories or crime stories, why do you think that this particular type of story draws so many attention from the audience?
Gosh, because it's good. I mean, honestly, It's not really the genre. It's really how much, and because it's anchored in reality, it's very grounded, and their relationships are real and complex and lived in. And I think that an audience feels that. It's it's a combination of cinema and absolute, complete, and truth.
Mm-hmm. And I think there's also relatability to the characters and the environment. Like, you can glorify nice places, but then you also know people who actually live in these places, and to have something like a true crime in some place that you wouldn't normally see, but also have people doing real things in an environment that's so, like, even hard to fathom. I think that's, especially with this one, it's that the relatability and the character relatability is really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that this fascination with true crime has to do, that we're all witnessing, has to do, well, it's human nature. I mean, there's something about watching a car crash or an execution in ancient times that is built into our fascination with horror happening to someone else, not to me. And there's that, but there's also every time that true crime works, it opens a door into a life and a place and a psychology that is completely not yours, and it's very voyeuristic into a universe that you didn't suspect existed. Definitely this is a door, a window into how do you live a normal life, going to school, taking skating lessons, listening to football or doing Tinder dates in the Arctic, in the night, you know? And finally, I think that the human mind is built in a way that it cannot let go of missing pieces. The human brain is trained to complete puzzles, to fix things that are broken. So if you present any human mind with something that is incomplete, but maybe if you work at it, you're gonna figure it out. We cannot help ourselves. We go for it.
E esse foi o Em Cartaz. Até a próxima semana com mais dicas e novidades do cinema e do streaming.